Well, we're not done. We're not satisfied. I think champions are never satisfied. I think you can appreciate where you are, but at the same time, never be satisfied or complacent.
Bengals, Bills, Colts, Jags, Steelers, Ravens, Texans, Chiefs. Oh my, all these teams play this week while your Patriots chillin'. But out of all these teams, who can help the Pats the most? We'll give you the answers next.
The Bruins need a win, and you know what the best medicine would be? The St. Louis Blues. And Jim Montgomery makes his return to Boston tonight.
Look, if Mike Vrabel's going to tell us champions are never satisfied, Giannis Antetokounmpo is a champion, sure as hell isn't satisfied. He's maybe looking for an exit from Milwaukee. Could he come to Boston? We will explore all of that. Boston has entered the chat. Begins right now.
Make some noise for the Bro Show! Boston has entered the chat here inside our Salem Live studios. The three amigos, Travis Thomas, the big dog, Joe Murray in the house, and AK, Adam Kaufman. There it is. I'm going AK for you.
Hey.
I like that.
Whatever makes you comfortable.
Whatever makes you comfortable. 617-790-0928. Get in here. We're talking Patriots. Of course we are. Because, look, bye week, as I said in the open, Patriots chilling. You love it. We can watch football on Sunday. No one's stressed out. We're watching Red Zone, couple adult beverages, you know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, though, as you kind of look around the slate for Sunday and Monday and Thursday tonight, football's every night, isn't it? As you look around and we kind of look at these games and these teams, you start thinking, well, who can help the Patriots the most this weekend? And, of course, this has the internet going nuts. Let's go to Twitter here because a lot of people weighing in on this. Dot11 tweets, the ball's really in the Broncos' court. Right now, technically, the Patriots have the 1 seed, but they're finally having their bye week. If the Broncos beat the Raiders, then I believe they have the advantage based on common games. So even if both teams win out, it goes to the Broncos. Okay, Dot11. Ethan Wilson tweets, Colts have the most losable games, meaning it's possible 5 for 5. Broncos could be 4 out of 5, and then the Pats have 2 out of 4, and they're already at 11-2. This is my judgment, and obviously anything can happen. Pats probably have the better finish. Ethan, I appreciate your tweet, except that I went cross-eyed trying to do the math. I don't know what you were saying there.
He's saying the Colts might not win another game, and you know what? He might not be wrong.
He may not be wrong. Thanks for translating.
Tough schedule they got.
Thanks for translating that. But as you look at the slate, what do you see? Like, who can help or hurt the Patriots the most this weekend?
I think when you're looking at the AFC, obviously, as it exists right now, entering Week 14 is very important to dissect. So you have the Texans, Steelers, Chiefs currently on the outside looking in.
Okay.
These are teams that are in the hunt, but they are not right now in playoff spots, while the Ravens hold the tiebreaker for the AFC North lead, and the Bills sit 7th in the conference.
Right.
So, you know, the Ravens are a short skid away from falling behind the Steelers again. Those two have been flip-flopping. Heck, the Bengals are live. They're only 2 games out in that division at the moment. I don't see either of these teams necessarily getting in as a wild card team. It all depends on ultimately how it unfolds. But then, of course, you've got the Bills who are hanging on for their dear lives, setting up what could be a hat and T-shirt game for the Patriots in, you know, another week and a half.
Hold on a second. So you have the division winner in the North, and then you don't have another playoff team from that division?
I'm saying we don't know.
No, what's your prediction? Because you kind of said it there.
Well, I mean, look.
I think there's one.
I think
you just said that's all I'm asking.
It's either the Ravens, Steelers, or
whoever wins the division is it from that division. You think?
I think
just opinion.
I think that's probably. I got to pull up the standings here. I think that's probably the case.
Okay, all right. That's all I was asking.
Not definitively.
And the South could get multiple as well.
Right, but that's the thing. It's like, are you getting 2 from the North?
West?
Are you getting 2 from the South?
Right.
Are you getting
2?
Yeah. What's the West? So I just don't think any of that is written in stone.
Okay.
I think because whereas the NFC playoff picture, we won't waste time on this, but the NFC, not seeding, but in terms of who's in, who's out, is much clearer than I think what you've got in the AFC.
Yeah.
Sure.
The AFC,
I agree.
You just have worlds of parity. And so anyway, bringing it back to your major point of what are we as Patriots fans watching for this weekend when we're chilling on Red Zone or waiting for Sunday Night Football, there are really only 4, to me, super relevant games, Joe. It's Bengals at Bills, Steelers at Ravens, Broncos at Raiders, and then Texans at Chiefs.
Yeah.
They're Sunday night. You know, you could talk about Chargers and Colts and these, but these are the teams that to me are the most relevant because Bengals, Bills, all right, are either of these teams getting into the playoffs?
Right.
You know, the Bills, they're still gasping at trying to win this division.
Yeah.
The Steelers, Ravens, again, who's getting in? Is it one? Is it both?
Sure.
Broncos, Raiders. Now, we know the Raiders are not a playoff team, but the Broncos, are they going to win the 1 seed?
Right.
Or is that going to be New England? Because to me, and I know you would agree with this right now, feels like kind of a 2-horse race.
It does.
Barring some major drop-off or a team getting scorching hot.
That's right.
And then, of course, Texans, Chiefs. Could both these teams miss the playoffs? Are the Texans still live to win the South? We know the Chiefs aren't going to win the West. Like, all of this, you talk about popsicle headaches, pretzel headaches, all of this stuff. Like, we could do that with all of these teams. We could sit here and we could rank the importance to Patriots fans of these teams if we want to, Joe. But I think you could make an argument right now for any of them.
Yeah, Texans and Chiefs is the one I'm looking at.
Okay.
The Texans have won a couple of games in a row. They're creeping up in the standings, and they got that defense right now. And I think if you're looking down the road, that defense could give the Patriots some hiccups.
Heck yeah.
The other thing is the Chiefs. Are they alive? Are they the Chiefs? Can they go on a run? They're 3-point favorites this week. The Texans have been crushing as underdogs. That one's interesting to me. But if we're keeping it to the Patriots, I do want to know what the Bengals are. Are they a team that was the worst historically defensively, that has stopped the run the last couple of weeks against Buffalo? Did Buffalo get going in the second half last week? And on the flip side of it, the Ravens have lost last week. Is Lamar right? Like, is their defense now starting to struggle once again?
Sure.
And are the Steelers, what are they? Is it Aaron Rodgers? Is it not?
Right.
Are they, Mike Tomlin's on the hot seat?
Right.
So I just look at the Bills and the Ravens. Those are the two teams that are truly important to me.
Yeah.
And the Patriots have struggled to stop the run. Or they've been struggling without Milton Williams. Hey, they gave up over 100 yards on the ground last week.
Last couple weeks, it's not been great.
I'm just saying,
overall this year,
both teams can run the football.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if they can continue to do it this week, because I think they can be a threat to the Patriots in the next 2 weeks.
Usually I'm a party starter. I'm going to be a party pooper this time around because I have my eyes on the Broncos every week. And I know they play the Raiders, and the Raiders stink, and we all know it. And the Broncos should win that game. But I'm just looking at this Broncos schedule. My God. After this Raiders game, congratulations, because now you're in football hell. You get Green Bay, you get Jacksonville, who right now looks like a playoff team.
Yeah.
We haven't even talked about them at the moment. You go to Arrowhead for a desperate Chiefs team. Mm-hmm. I mean, at that point, it's win or go home. If the playoffs already started for the Chiefs at that point, if they lose that game, they're cooked. And then you finish against the Chargers, who, oh, by the way, will also be fighting for a wild card. This is a hellacious Broncos schedule. I do think it's a 2-horse race, guys. I do. I think it's Patriots-Broncos for the rest of the way for who gets home field. And I'm not saying the Patriots don't have 2 tough games left. We talk about it all the time with the Bills and the Ravens. But that Broncos schedule is considerably tougher. I think the road to the Super Bowl comes through Gillette because the Patriots will be the 1 seed based on that Broncos schedule.
If, and it's a huge if, because I don't think it's going to happen, but if Denver loses this game to the Raiders, you then fall, obviously, if you're Denver, 10-3. You're a full game behind New England for the 1 seed in the AFC. The Pats' road to a first-round bye is obviously that much easier. Thing is, we'll entertain it because
it's the Raiders.
Any given Sunday.
It was 10-7 last meeting, if you think about it.
Yeah,
I don't see it. I know the Raiders, they beat the Patriots.
They're
that was
so
all the way
bad.
back in week 1. I don't see it.
They're so bad.
The Patriots, I don't want to underscore, the Patriots do have overall, as we look at it now, 4-game sample, a tough schedule. You have 2 very losable games.
You do.
Against a desperate Bills team that is, still, again,
2 desperate
hanging
teams.
on right now for a division, and a desperate Ravens team
Jets
just
have been
trying to make the
competitive,
playoffs.
and the Dolphins are still
Dolphins
in it,
are
too.
playing better.
Absolutely. Now, I'm not going to do I think they're going to lose 3 out of 4. They could lose all 4.
I've heard
sure,
that.
could they? But I don't see it. I think 2-2 is the floor for the Patriots, and I think they could go 3-1. I think that's very realistic. To me, if I'm looking at these 4 games, I guess I'm an outlier to you on this one. The Broncos game, and I know this is a little counterintuitive because, again, we all care about the first-round seed,
of course,
or the first-round bye, the first seed, the extra bye week, having everything run through New England. You're coming to our house through the AFC title game, all that stuff. We should care about that. I get it, and I do. But in the immediate, here this weekend, week 14, the Broncos game, of the 4 that I mentioned, is the least important to me.
Yeah.
It is the least important.
Because you have time to worry about them later.
You got time to worry about them later, but other teams, Chiefs, Ravens,
Yes.
Bills to some degree, certainly Bengals, Texans. These teams are running out of time.
Right.
And if I'm a Patriots fan, I'm not disrespecting the Broncos. I don't think when I say this. I don't think I am. I don't think I am.
No, where are you going with this?
The Broncos are absolutely capable of beating the Patriots.
Yeah.
There or in Foxborough.
They are.
That defense is incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they don't scare me.
Yeah,
The Broncos,
I agree.
because of their offense, they don't scare me.
Who scares you?
Patrick Mahomes scares me.
Same.
Josh Allen scares me.
Same.
Lamar Jackson scares me.
So Joe Burrow.
So Joe Burrow
If they can get
absolutely
there.
scares me.
If he can get there.
I think it's obviously more of an uphill
be
climb,
tough.
but if they can get there, absolutely. Joe
Broncos
Burrow
don't
scares
scare
me.
you. Colts don't scare you. Jaguars don't scare you.
And
Chargers don't scare you.
And I guess the
Texans don't-
common denominator here is these teams that don't have the guy at quarterback, Bo Nix, Trevor Lawrence, C.J. Stroud, Daniel Jones. Like these quarterbacks don't scare me.
Sure.
And so my focus this weekend as a Patriots fan, what am I rooting for? I'm rooting for whatever increases the likelihood of some combination, because it's not going to be all of them, of the Bills, the Chiefs, the Ravens not making the playoffs. So I'm rooting for the Bengals against the Bills. I'm rooting for, obviously, the Raiders against the Broncos. But I'm rooting for the Steelers against the Ravens. I'm rooting for the Texans against the Chiefs. And those games, those three, matter to me more than Raiders-Broncos.
617-790-0928. Call us. Get in here. Of course, Alan, family to the program. From Lawrence, now resides in Arizona. He called in and weighed in on his football team as well. Take a listen.
Good morning, guys. Alan from South Lawrence. Patriots. Everybody's talking about the soft schedule. Well, at the beginning of the season, when everybody saw the Patriots on their, calendar, they also thought that was a soft game. And now as the season has played out, we see that the Patriots are not soft. Jackson Dot found that out, right? That was like a case of where the bullseye hits the dot and not the other way around. The Patriots have shown they are resilient. They have played in tough games. They have played in close games. They've played in some ugly games, but they've come out on the winning side, which is also an attribute to their coaching, to their practice, to the team players buying in. So I don't care who they put up in front of us. I think this team is prepared. I think they're going to come to play. And I'm looking forward to seeing the results because I think they're going to be positive. We have a great shot of being the number one seed. Gives us more time. We get the late bye, which I didn't love, but now I do love. And again, I'm just going to go with Bregman. Sorry, Lou, but we're talking about resources, right? Available resources. And so if he's going to cost a whole bunch of money for resources, we already have coaches in the clubhouse. Okay, that's called Alex Cora. And somebody else will step that in. And for defense, I'll take Marcelo Meyer at third and hope for the best. All right. Thank you, guys. Have a wonderful day.
Appreciate you, Alan. Shout outs to South Lawrence.
South Lawrence. The next call from Alan's going to be Alan from Great Stone Dam right down the street. We're getting all the Lawrence landmarks. I love it.
I don't
Great
know.
call.
So who's going to put Marcelo Myers on play quarterback?
He never gets hurt.
Patriots, Alan.
I'm sorry.
He never gets hurt. What could go wrong?
Who's with us on Wednesdays?
617-790-0928. I did agree with him, going back to Patriots here. This is a physical. It's a Mike Vrabel team. Like, they are physical. They will hit you, knock your face into the ground, okay?
That hasn't been the case all season.
Well, I'm just saying right now, okay? We're going off what we just watched.
They're not bullies.
I'll tell you this.
They did bully the last
They bullied the Giants.
I'll tell you this. I have faith in the defense in the playoffs. I do. Hard-nosed, tough. Everything Alan said. My concern, though, usually those kind of teams can run the ball.
Yep.
Nothing against Drake May, the MVP, but you're going to have to run the ball here once you get to January. So I hear you, Alan. I have faith in the defense just like you do, but I need a little more physicality on the offensive side.
Yeah, and I'll just say this without Will Campbell, which, by the way,
fair.
People you've heard, might not come back. So I know he's on the injured reserve.
Postseason, right?
Well,
he's supposed to be back for the postseason.
It depends. There's reports out there that it was a tear. So just want to put that out there.
Joe's hanging on to this take.
Not good.
Until
I die
it
on
either comes
Hills.
true or he's on the field.
I die on Hills, and I'm dying on this one. I don't know if he comes back, but Can they run the football? And especially on the goal line.
Yes.
You went 1 for 5 in the red zone.
Oh.
You're 1 for your last 8 in the red zone. You got to run the football. But you know what it is? I do think they're holding some things back a little bit because they want to protect Drake May. And when it matters, I think they'll take the handcuffs off.
He'll run.
And he'll be the one that's running around the goal.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I think it's look, you can't ignore, for all the different things, we outlined it quite a bit yesterday, the Patriots being a top 7 team offensively in terms of yards per game, and they're right up there, obviously, in terms of the passing game. It's a large part of why Drake May is the MVP favorite. Points per game, all of these things. The red zone efficiency in terms of getting inside the 20 and actually scoring a touchdown, not settling for a field goal, has been very poor.
19th,
it's near the bottom of the league. Lower,
it's got worse. Yeah, actually, after last week.
24th.
Yeah.
It's 24th. And just a shade over 50%. Not to mention their red zone defense is dead last in the league.
Yeah,
sure.
Red zone has been a problem for the Patriots. They are winning in spite of it because they have been, prolific with chunk gains and longer touchdowns and all of that. They're scoring from outside the red zone, all of that, and they're still putting up their points.
Yeah.
I think the run game obviously is going to be increasingly important as we get deeper into the season. I agree with that. I'm curious to see if we do get, because this is the first time Drake May's going through this. As we know, he's not, last year's team, one, he wasn't the full-time starter.
Right.
But second to that, last year's team was abysmal.
And he was
in
a
Week
rookie.
18, it was competing for the number 1 overall pick in the draft.
Yes.
Now they're competing for the number 1 seed in the AFC. The
Crazy.
turnaround has been absurd.
Crazy.
So now we can see, obviously, for Drake May, will he follow, not him specifically, but the coaching staff, the plan that we have seen in Kansas City with Mahomes,
Sure.
in Buffalo with Josh Allen, where these mobile quarterbacks scramble more, run more deliberately, design runs
Yes.
as the season moves along.
Yes, they
as
do.
you get
Bigger the
closer to
game,
playoffs.
right? Yeah, the bigger the
Absolutely.
game, the more
I'd love
they
to
run.
see it.
That's a great take. I agree with that. That we could see Drake do that because I haven't seen a lot of creativity in the run game. That's one of my issues. As great as Josh McDaniels has been, I think he could be a little more creative in terms of running the football with design plays. 617-790-0928. Call us. Get in here. We're talking Pats, number 1 seed. We don't even have to stress out on Sunday watching this team. We can just kick back, kick our feet up. I swear if I had a table, I'd put them up right now.
My time.
My time. Oh, my time weekend, baby. Let's get the My Times rocking. When we come back, what's trending in the world of sports? Spoiler alert, Kraft, Belichick, attached at the hip, even if they don't want to be. Too bad, so sad. We'll explain next, right here on Boston has entered the chat. Here's what's trending in the world of sports. Check this tweet out from Rap Sheet. Former Patriots coach Bill Belichick and owner Robert Kraft are among the 5 finalists for the Hall of Fame class of 2026. Of the 5, Belichick, Kraft, senior nominees Ken Anderson, Roger Craig, L.C. Greenwood. Listen to this. A max of 3 can be enshrined. Okay. Of course, there are also 26 modern era players under consideration for the Hall of Fame. So, this is an interesting thing. Here we go. Kraft and Belichick attached at the hip always. Z Blitz tweets, Bill and Kraft going in together should happen and would also be very entertaining, considering all the pettiness between them now. Amen, Z Blitz. Jubs tweets, honestly, seeing how quickly the Patriots turn things around, I wonder if Kraft deserves more credit than Brady or Belichick.
What?
Wow, relax, Jubs. Although, here's what I will say about Kraft, and I don't think he gets enough credit for this in recent memory. To be able to admit you were wrong with Gerard Mayo and rip that Band-Aid off and then hire the guy that you should have to begin with, hey, I'm telling you right now, in my career, I've covered some really bad ownership. That took a lot of stones, self-reflection. I was wrong.
Money.
I thought Gerard Mayo was the guy. I was wrong. Let's move in the right. He did not force it and say, I'm right. This is going to work. And then would this team be where we are right now with Gerard Mayo? Not no, but hell no. So Kraft deserves a lot of credit for that.
I agree with that to a point.
Okay.
I think there's a flip side, which is also reacting to public sentiment and looking for some good PR for a team that's really struggled for multiple years.
What do you mean?
All the fans wanted Mike Vrabel.
Yeah.
Everybody wanted Vrabel and Mayo out.
Yeah.
So there was a little bit of, there's a component of admitting you're wrong and having to
Oh, you're saying
swallow
almost
that.
it was too loud to not do it.
Correct.
Yeah, he's still the owner, Adam. He cuts the checks.
Well, I'll say this: the thing on Kraft has always been meddling, right?
Yeah.
Bill Parcells, let him shop for the groceries, but wouldn't let him cook the dinner, that kind of thing.
Pete Carroll just wants nicer sandwiches.
Exactly. And then with Belichick down the end, did Belichick really want Mac Jones, right? Wasn't an ownership thing. So when it comes to Kraft, I don't think he got involved this summer, right? They moved on from Mayo. They made it quick. Vrabel was the guy, and they spent money, right? So he got out of the way, and I think that's a positive to what you're talking about making the mistake and owning it.
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to the Hall of Fame, though, right? I think if I had a vote, it would be Robert Kraft.
Oh, wow.
And here's why. Bill Belichick's going in no matter what.
Yeah.
This year, next year, whenever.
Yeah.
Kraft, this might be one of his only shots. He deserves to be there no matter what. He inherited Bill Parcells, Hall of Fame coach. Pete Carroll will be a future Hall of Famer, and of course Belichick. He kept the Patriots in New England, all that.
Pete Carroll's candidacy for the Hall of Fame has nothing to do with what he did in New England.
Well, just telling you,
I get it.
He's going.
He's Hall of Famer.
And listen, the Patriots are all about taking credit, right? He's going to take credit for that.
Of course
He's going to take credit for it.
Of course he is.
They both should probably get in this year. But my vote would be Kraft because I don't know if he does another opportunity outside of this.
Yeah, they both should absolutely go in. And that's not like some New England homer take. This is just being a football fan and someone who, studies the game and recognizes greatness when you see it.
Kraft should already be in.
He should already be in. He's been angling for this for 15 years almost. He is in his mid-80s, and honestly, there are only so many more, as Joe said, kicks at the can that Kraft is going to have to begin with compared to other members that are going to be on these ballots. But on top of that, honestly, are we going to sit here in good conscience, voters, I'm talking to you, and wait for this man to die and then put him in? And I'm not being crude when I say that. Again, he's in his mid-80s. And I just think I don't know if there's a level of comfort with putting guys into halls of fame posthumously. Like, can somebody enjoy their moment?
Sure.
And be, for all that you have achieved in your life. And this is not just, he's one of 32. He owns an NFL team. You've had some success. Good on you. No, they've had historic success that he has presided over. Even if you want to limit his credit to hiring Bill Belichick and all the places that they went from there, obviously, and sort of lucking into Tom Brady. But Kraft's contributions to the game go so much deeper. The guy almost single-handedly ended the lockout in 2011, getting in the room there and working, let's get rid of the lawyers and let's figure this out, and they did.
Right.
Has served anyway on multiple committees. He has been an integral part of the media growth and coverage of the game and league partnerships and making it the behemoth that obviously it has become. It's stupid. It's embarrassing that Robert Kraft is not yet in the Hall of Fame. This is absolutely an appropriate time to do it. And to Joe's point, like Bill Belichick, he's getting in. Whether he gets in first ballot, second ballot, heaven forbid, third ballot, he's getting in. It is a foregone conclusion. I don't know that time is really on Kraft's side. He's getting in too.
Yeah.
I just don't know if it's happening during his lifetime. So it should happen now. But remember, max of 3. That is because 80% of the vote for anyone that is enshrined is required. I don't know if both these guys do get 80% of the vote. And I don't know that they'd enjoy going in together necessarily in the wake of all of the pettiness and everything that we could spend hours sitting here dissecting and detailing that they have gone through in years past, recent years past. But it would be appropriate. It would be poetic. I think it'd be pretty special for Patriots fans, even if those two individually would maybe have something to say about it privately.
It would be deserving for both. 617-790-0928. What do you say? If you had a vote and you could only vote one, Belichick or Kraft, Hall of Fame, we want to hear from you. Hey, big one tonight on Thursday Night Football. Sometimes these games are duds. Not tonight. Cowboys at Lions. Two teams fighting for their playoff lives. When it comes to the wild card or the division, even in the Lions case. I mean, how do you sort of see this going tonight? I'll be honest. I think it's going to live up to the hype. I think we get an instant classic tonight. I'll take the Lions because they're at home. And I just think Dan Campbell's such a riverboat gambler. I could see a close game. Jared Goff's balling. Dak's balling. It's going to come down to the end. A handful of decisions and plays here or there. Dan Campbell, 4th and whatever. Go for it. They convert. I'll go walk off.
From their own 47.
Right. Yeah. I'll go walk off game winner. Give me Lions high scoring. I know we all liked over. Give me 31-30. Instant classic.
Yeah, I'm on the over. I want to give Dallas a shot here. Like, if it was 3.5, maybe I'd take, Dallas somewhere around there.
What is it, 3?
It's
3.
It's been
3.
solid.
Okay.
It's sitting at 3.
All right.
It's basically been at 3 from open.
You need that hook. I agree.
What's trending between the two teams? The Cowboys are the hotter team. The Cowboys are playing better football.
Yes.
The Lions are regressing, if you ask me. But in this spot, off Thanksgiving, both teams who played on Thanksgiving every year, meeting each other, the Lions generally win and bounce back in the spot.
So I think we shouldn't, even though I like the Lions as well, I think we shouldn't discount the absence of Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Absolutely.
That is crucial, obviously, for
But
Detroit.
Jameson Williams has been balling.
Has been exceptional taking on that role.
He has.
And he's absolutely a guy that can blink, give you 100 yards.
Yes.
So can CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens on the other side.
Pickens on that slant last week. Oh, my God.
I think again, I also like Detroit. If we're going to bring it to betting and trends, Dan Campbell, Jared Goff as a tandem, they have won 14 straight games off a loss. 13-1 against the spread in those games. I think, though, to Joe's point, and you brought it up before, I just think we're getting points. And I know primetime unders have been a thing of late. More often than not, games are lower scoring in these island games. But I think we're going to get points in this one. I'm not scared off by the 53.5, 54.5, in large part because of the teams that we're talking about. Dallas so far this year is 7-5 to the over. Or no, pardon me, 8-4 to the over, best in the NFL.
Okay.
Detroit is 7-5 to the over. Dallas, if you wanted to even drill it down more specifically to just the Cowboys, are an NFL leading 10-2 to their team total over this year. They put up points. The only thing I like Detroit, and because it's a dome, both are domes, we don't have to do the whole indoor-outdoor thing regardless of the location of the game with Jared Goff. I ultimately lean toward Detroit just because, again, they tend to respond off a loss. This is a very important game, as we said, for both these teams trying to keep their playoff hopes alive. Where I would side with the Cowboys is if this game were in Dallas. They were 3.5-point dogs at home against Philadelphia, won outright. They were 3.5-point dogs at home against the Chiefs, won outright. I believe in that Jerry's World magic with this team to a degree. I do. Enough so that I would take the points with Dallas if it were in Dallas. It's not. It's in Detroit. I go with the Lions.
That's a fair point. I think the home field really does matter here. To Joe's point, that hook is a crook. If I could get that 3.5, I'd be with you on that bet. But at 3, I'm not touching it. I just like the Lions. We all like the over. If you're betting this game, do yourself a favor. Who gives a rat's patootie who wins it? Take the over and enjoy your night. That's what that is.
It's no hook problem. You get push protection.
I like the tease. Give me the Cowboys and the over. Let's do it.
Hey, when we come back, Jaylen Brown for Giannis? Say what now? We'll explain next, right here on Boston has entered the chat.
Don't throw your shoe.
All right, we are back on Boston has entered the chat here. Shams Charania, ESPN. Justin. Giannis Antetokounmpo and his agent have started conversations with the Milwaukee Bucks about the two-time NBA MVP's future and discussing whether his best fit is staying or elsewhere. A resolution is expected in the coming weeks. You might expect Celtics fans had some thoughts on this tweet. Brian says, trade Brown for Giannis. You're not getting them otherwise. It's true.
It's the only way.
It's the only way. Boston fanatic. It would take White and Pritchard. Nah. NBA's three-point shooting. I'm good. I disagree.
You're a damn lie.
You're going to need Brown. From Julian, there's no scenario where the Bucks would trade Giannis for a package where the best player they get is Derek White. You'd have to, at minimum, include Jaylen Brown. So, right. Julian, I'd say you're on right path right there.
Yes.
Jaylen Brown. It would take Jaylen Brown ultimately for this to happen. So I think there are a couple things to explore here. Obviously, for one, you want him, Celtics fans? Would you do it? Would you trade Jaylen Brown? Because, again, that's in all likelihood what it would take if the Bucks would even accept it, which, by the way, I don't think they would because they'd be entering a rebuild. Remember, you don't rebuild with a Jaylen Brown. You want young talent, not basically a 30-year-old, as Brown is on the cusp of being.
Disgruntled.
You want draft picks.
He would be pissed to be in Milwaukee. So you're getting a disgruntled.
He might be pissed. This is a whole other aside. He might be pissed just to be even involved in these rumors, these rumblings. Jaylen Brown, at every opportunity he gets, Joe, talks about his frustration of the organization dangling him in trade rumors. This was going on his entire career in Boston.
True.
But would you do it?
Hell no.
You wouldn't?
No. Guys.
No?
Giannis Antetokounmpo? You got to bring his brothers with him. Not to mention, it's a year, and then he's got to sign an extension.
Bring in Alex.
Dude is going to make $70 million, and the Celtics have already cut money out. Joe Math tells me that this does not work out for Boston whatsoever. I mean, if we want to get really in the weeds now, you can move on from Pritchard, you can move on from White, and give him Simons, and you can go Brown, Tatum, and Giannis, and then you got to have his two brothers fill out the rest of the roster there, all right? But being realistic, though,
just got to be on the roster.
$70 million for Giannis is crazy. Not to mention he got hurt last night. It's a calf. And you know what the next thing is after a calf strain, right? We've seen it everywhere. Whether it's Durant, whether it's Tatum, it's the old Achilles, even Lillard in there.
Well, even last night, that was a non-contact injury.
Exactly.
I know they've already said it's not the Achilles, but that was concerning.
Out. Now, if we're on the playground, Travis, and it's Giannis and Brown, give me Giannis. But as far as a math equation here, because this is what the Celtics have all been about, right? Aprons, get under the apron, this, and that. Now you're going to add in this albatross? No way. Out.
Giannis eligible for a 4-year, $275 million max extension in October through 2031. Trav, you seem to have thoughts.
I'm just going to do a little role play here. Hello. Who? Giannis? For who? JB? Okay. Yeah, we got that. Jaylen, pack your stuff. Some dude named Travis is going to drive you to Logan. You're out. Giannis is in. I'm sorry. I love you, big dog. This dude, Giannis, is not even from Earth. I've seen Jaylen Browns before. Respect to him. You're a champ. Love what you've done for the city. I've met you. You're a good guy. I've seen guys like him before. I ain't never seen anybody like Giannis Antetokounmpo. That size. They call him the freak.
He's a freak.
That size, that speed, this man, he don't even dribble. He comes over half court.
Better take that with you.
He comes over.
Make sure to take those two
He
steps
comes over
first.
half court, and he's already at the basket. Jaylen Brown has to dribble.
No, you're right.
And
He's got a big stride.
and set picks. Giannis just. Yeah.
How's the shooting,
I'm
though?
sorry.
How's he shoot?
How's he shoot?
He's not a good shooter.
He doesn't need to shoot.
Yeah.
Do you, and when you can't, kick it out to some dude named Jason Tatum. Kick it out to some dude, assuming he's still here, named Derek White. Kick it out to Rich. I don't need him to shoot. I need him to be him. And he's him.
All right,
give me
if you need him to be him, remember a part of him is this dude is the poster child for diva NBA superstar today.
Who?
Giannis.
No, he's not.
Think about all
Don't
the
do that.
Think about all the things the Bucks have done to try and keep this
That's
guy
not
happy
diva.
over the years,
It's because
including
he's not from planet Earth.
signing his brothers who
That's
are not
right.
even NBA players
And he got
to
'em.
NBA contracts just to appease this dude.
That's not diva.
They stretch and wave Damian Lillard after the injury.
Timeout. You're blaming
him.
Giannis for the Bucks problems? How?
Because the roster construction was built around Giannis and Giannis'
No, it wasn't.
wants.
It was built to keep
Drew
him in
Holiday
Milwaukee.
was dealt, to keep him in Milwaukee,
Yes,
to keep
that's
him
not
happy,
diva.
to keep him happy. Of course
That's
it
not
is.
diva. That's good business. It's Milwaukee, Adam. You are so arrogant because we're here.
Yeah.
We love lobster rolls. We have our chowder. We got our
Sure.
socks. That's Milwaukee.
Yeah, they got
Right?
Miller Lite and Laverne and Shirley.
That ain't the same, dog. You better keep that man happy.
You go hopscotching right down
That's
toward
right.
those
What
cameras.
do you mean? You got to do whatever. Listen.
Of course you
we're
got to
all-
do whatever.
We're all men
to
here.
appease
No,
a
hold on, hold
superstar,
on.
but you
We're
can't
all-
tell me you're not appeasing
Hold on a
your
second.
superstar.
Time out. We're all men here. Let's have a grown-up combo. We'll keep
Sure.
it clean. Family program. If you get a 10, ain't none of us up here at 10, okay?
Sure.
You get a 10, you're going to do what it takes to keep the 10. Not saying you're going to, but you're going to do whatever it takes. Milwaukee doesn't have the cachet like a Boston or a New York or we know a Laker, but that's the Milwaukee Bucks. What do you want? Oh, you want your whole family on the team? No problem. That's not diva. That's good business from the Bucks.
I don't
if
disagree.
anything, I would argue Giannis has taken too long to do this. Once Dame got hurt, which was it, they rolled the dice. That was a good move. He got hurt. It didn't work. Okay. Once he got hurt, if I'm Giannis, hey, I want out. He's already hung on a couple years.
My thing is this. You should have done this already, Giannis,
That's what
if you
I'm saying.
don't want to be here,
That's
though.
my point.
That's my thing. And now, let's look at teams that can put him in a guy who makes $60 million. Give me him. Tell me. Who can acquire a $60 million guy who's essentially a rental? Right? Because you got to give him the extension anyway.
He's not a rental.
Doesn't mean he's not going to sign. Doesn't mean he's going to.
He's going to be involved in everything we read in the tweet. They're going to, they're working together. He and his agent. I mean, the tweet could have been worded differently. The tweet could have basically just said, "Hey, Giannis wants out, and he's told the Bucks, and now they're working together to try and figure out where he's going to go because he's got them bent over a barrel to try and determine ultimately where it is." You think that like Kevin Durant winding up with the Nets was like the ideal trade package?
That's
no,
where he
was, remember? Because they get the 2 max contracts. Remember him and Isaiah?
No, I remember. That's where he said.
I keep receipts.
That's where he said he wanted to go. He wanted to go to Brooklyn, and therefore he went to Brooklyn. Same thing ultimately with, James Harden. How many destinations
now
has
that's
he
a
dictated?
diva.
Fine, but my point is, if Giannis, and this is what all indications would suggest, if Giannis is just hell-bent on going to the Knicks, then guess what? Giannis is going to the Knicks.
That's a fact.
And it's not a great trade package there from Milwaukee.
No, it's not.
At all.
No.
But you're going to get what you're going to get, so you don't, so that he's not upset.
I like your
team.
team.
Treat it like they're kids.
I like your hot take. I think he works on the Spurs.
The Spurs.
I'd love to, or Rockets.
Yeah,
Or Rockets.
Spurs because of Wemby, right?
Right.
They
Yeah.
have Castle. They have other assets and talent.
Harper.
So I think it's possible. But I think the NBA is now trying to go away from the superstars being in control. And this is why I think the dynasties are over now, right? It's hard for guys to say, I want to go here, I want to go there. If he wants to go to New York, who really makes out in that deal? Right, New York's going to take them, but then they're a worse roster, and then the Bucks really don't have a lot to build around. So
yeah, but you've got Giannis in a major NBA market
with Jalen Brunson.
No money to spend.
With Jalen Brunson, that's one hell of a 1-2 punch.
and
The
now
rest of the roster be damned.
guys,
But that's,
the NBA is really asset management.
It
what
is.
it's about.
It
And
is.
I just think him at 70 million. I agree with you. Is he a freak and probably a top 5 player? Yes.
I mean, Danny Ainge used to say this. You can't look at the 70 million. I know it's a gaudy number and it sounds huge as it is. Right, but it doesn't really matter anymore.
Right.
I mean, he used to always say it's not about the salary, it's about percentage of cap. That's what's relevant. You can only have so many max contract guys on your roster and fill out a roster. It's the Celtics issue right now. You can't have Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown on both supermax contracts and build out a championship roster. I'm sorry, you can't do it. Ultimately, it's why Brown probably at some point is going to get traded. He's just not getting traded for Giannis.
I have a couple boring teams, but it kind of goes to what Joe is saying, where maybe the league's trying to move away from this player has all the control. Here's 2 teams that I think it could work, and he would still be the man. He's not sharing space. I think Miami makes a lot of sense. Now, you got to have the conversation of what do the Bucks get, because Tyler Hero's not doing it for anyone. But I'm just saying, from a Giannis standpoint, kind of doing right by him. I think Miami makes sense. Giannis and Bam is a decent 1-2 combo, and it puts Miami back where we're kind of used to seeing them. Top 4 or 5 in the Eastern Conference, and they're viable for an NBA Finals run. Here's one more. Here's another one. I think the Bulls. Now, the problem is there's nothing there. The cupboard's bare. But when you think about Chicago, major market, they have done nothing since Derrick Rose's knees gave up, okay?
Yeah, but does Giannis want to go to Chicago?
Well, that's where I'm at.
The answer is no.
It's almost like you're swapping out Milwaukee,
right?
But Chicago's a better city.
Yeah.
So if it's a big market, we don't really know
it's
what's
a
going on
players'
here.
league. This is up to the player.
Yeah.
Giannis is going to decide where he wants to go, and the Bucks are going to have to accommodate it. It's that simple.
If I may,
please.
Your partner, man, our boy Ante.
Yeah.
Hold my banner, right?
Sure.
He said the Thunder, didn't he?
Thunder.
Just because they have the assets, not because
They have it, though.
Well,
they have
yeah.
the assets. Presti has stockpiled draft picks for days, loads of young talent. The Thunder effortlessly could go out and make this deal. They won't.
They don't want
because ultimately it's not the best for their
Well, they
organization.
just don't need. Yeah,
they don't need them.
Yeah, that would be scary.
But
though.
you don't have to worry about extending those other guys. You know what I'm
Chet,
saying?
yeah, no, I know.
And now you have SGA, big money.
Sure.
You have two
Yeah.
players at
You got-
$140 million. To bring this back, though, to the Celtics,
Yeah.
doesn't Tatum and Brown at $100 million combined with whatever they're doing sound better than Giannis at $70 million?
Well, you're going to
Tatum and Brown will be
regardless.
better than any scenario that involves Giannis.
Here's ultimately what it comes back to for the Celtics. We're going to make this about the Celtics. Let's make it about the Celtics. Are you trading Giannis? Or are you acquiring Giannis, trading Jaylen Brown? No, it's just not going to happen. I would be absolutely floored. Could the Celtics be involved, however? I mentioned Danny Ainge. Could we get a Danny Ainge special on this situation?
Little three-piece.
I think that's entirely possible.
How so? Talk that out.
The Celtics getting involved in a 3-team deal, maybe even a 4-team deal, and just helping move the money around, facilitate the deal.
So you're moving
Ainge
Simons?
did, however many times exactly.
Okay.
You are potentially dumping Anthony Simons' contract without having to attach, draft capital to get rid of that deal. Like
what do you want, a young
there have been these
player?
reports. Well, I'll tell you this. Like you mentioned, hold my banner. Ante and I, we talked about this yesterday. or 2 days ago. I'm for damn sure not attaching a first-round pick with Anthony Simons to get rid of him.
No.
You do this, you don't have to. It's just a big contract.
What are you getting
that
back?
dumping off.
Are you getting a draft pick, or are you getting?
Well, you're dumping off that at the very
Just
least.
a dump?
Maybe you're acquiring a draft pick, or maybe that's as you're suggesting.
Just dump it.
There's an element of, could we, in this deal, facilitate to where we get a serviceable big man in return? And no, I can't give you a name because it depends on which teams are involved in this.
Yeah, and it's not going to be a star.
No, it wouldn't be a star. But you could get back a big in this deal. Help yourself out just a little bit while, again, unloading Simons, maybe even Sam Hauser potentially.
The Clippers got a big man over there. What about Zubac? Or
Talk about an organization falling apart. Anyone else getting sent home by the end of the week?
Look at the Clippers roster and pick who you want. And let's make a deal with them. They got to be ready to make a deal right now, right? They do have bigs. I would love to see the Celtics involved in that way, where you don't. That's a good point. You don't lose Jaylen Brown, but you move Simons, which we all knew when they acquired him he was going to get moved at some point. So no one's losing sleep over that. And then if you can get a big, this is all I want. Let me be clear here. I just want someone who's big, tall, strong, who can walk and chew bubblegum at the same time to play on the front court for the Celtics. Is that too much to ask? Get one of them, and I'm cool with it. I'm cool with that trade.
It's just such a massage your personnel kind of world that we live in now. Jaylen Brown, again, has no reason to not be happy in Boston.
No.
And at every opportunity, we'll still talk about booed on draft night. How many times have they tried to deal me? Tracy McGrady convinced me to stay. All of these things are still coming up.
Yeah, they are.
Even while he's the star of the show right now with Tatum out. So if I'm Brad Stevens, and I don't care what happens publicly, like this doesn't need to happen publicly. This is behind the closed doors conversation. If I'm Brad Stevens, I am running to Jaylen Brown to say, look, I know Giannis wants out. I know there's noise out there. We might be involved in terms of trying to help facilitate a deal, a 3-teamer, get something in return, maybe continue to manipulate our flexibility conversation around salary. It's not you.
Yeah.
You're not going.
Yeah.
You're here. You're not involved in this. I don't care what you hear out there. I don't care what the talking heads on the networks are putting out. You're not involved.
Joe, did you hear him gloss over his hot take earlier, though, where he goes, Jaylen Brown won't get traded for Giannis, but he'll get traded?
Oh, yeah.
He glossed over that one.
He's not a career Celtic. He's not.
And I just want to bring back those comments, come or don't come at all.
Yeah.
Since those comments, Celtics have been 6-2.
Since Jaylen Brown said that.
And I just
looking like one of the top teams in the East.
That's right. That's right.
Maybe they're building around.
Hey, that's leadership. He's also facilitating a lot more now, right? We always talk about Tatum's overall game. Look at what Jaylen Brown's doing. He's grabbing boards. He's facilitating. Jaylen Brown is a better all-around player than maybe we gave him credit for.
Is Giannis like the last big athlete NBA player to get traded?
No.
Or is it Jaylen Brown? Who's the next generational
this
player
year?
like this
year
to be available?
Yeah, this year.
All of them.
Yeah.
How about this year?
This year, yes.
Yeah, I mean,
yes.
And we're just sitting here assuming that Giannis does get traded this year. I don't think that's a lock. I think these conversations are out there. This could still filter into the offseason.
I hope not, because then he'll act like a diva.
All right, well, the Celtics are back
Daniel
in action tomorrow, guys. Jaylen Brown is not going to play in that game. Load management against a terrible Wizards team. It's
Load
really that
management
simple.
because the Lakers are on deck.
That's right. That's fine with me, by the way.
Fine.
No criticism. He hasn't missed a game yet. I'm good with that.
That's right.
Sit him against the Wizards. If you lose to the Wizards without Jaylen Brown, not worthy of all the hype that we're getting into on a regular basis here while you're taking down some of the top-tier teams, top echelon teams across the Eastern Conference. Bruins back at it tomorrow as well. And revenge narrative, boys? We like to live in the betting streets. Jim Montgomery, the old head coach here in Boston, making his return. Love to see it. Don't forget, Boston has entered the chat every day, Monday through Friday, 8 to 9 on Nesson, 9 to 10 on Nesson Nation. We got worlds coming your way, including a Bruins Blues preview coming up next.
Personally and professionally, it was a great time for my family. We really enjoyed Winchester where we lived. Still have tremendous friends that live in the area. Professionally, it's a bag of mixed emotions. Some great times and, some very, very disappointing times.
That is Blues head coach Jim Montgomery, former Bruins head coach, as the Bees will be in action tonight here on Nesson, taking on the Blues. Now, may I just say this?
Sure.
Yes.
I like Jim Montgomery.
He's a nice guy.
I thought and I love Winchester. D'Agostino's a great spot there. But I think he got a raw deal. And where I'm going with this is, just hear me out. Last year, with three guys being, free agents, essentially, Brad Marchand going in the last year of his deal.
Yeah. Sure.
Montgomery going into the last year of his deal, and of course the Jeremy Swayman stuff. Montgomery had to deal with all that. He had to deal with all that. He had to deal with the fallout of everything. He's giving
That's part of the gig.
Go. It's part of the gig, but come on. You're going to let a lame duck coach go into the final year of his deal.
Yes.
So now it's better now, Adam, right? It's better now?
Well,
last year was a problem. It should have been handled from the top at the start.
If he's a lame duck coach, it's not my problem. Go out and prove it. I mean, we're only a couple of years removed from the Bruins having an historically great regular season, the greatest regular season in the history of the NHL. He wins Jack Adams Coach of the Year, and what happened?
That's good, right?
Yeah.
That's good, right? And then what did they do to him? What happened to him?
They lost in the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah, they lost because it was a veteran-laden team. Right, Bergeron, right, had to play in game 5. Every game Bergeron came back and they lost.
There were some questionable decisions, especially in net.
What I'm trying to say is,
you don't put some of that on the coach?
This is why I think he got a raw deal. I think he was given a veteran-laden team. Who
doesn't want one of those when you're chasing the cup?
He's going to tell Patrice Bergeron he's not going to play?
I'm going to tell you.
Tell me
he's
that?
too hurt to play, yeah.
You two are both missing this. And we do this for a living. We hear all these sound bites. The Bruins have told you, how many shots have they said where they're like, in the past, the details weren't there, the fundamentals weren't there. We got away from this, we got away from that. They're telling you. Marco Sturm comes in. Why? System. Relates to young players. I believe a lot of these teams and executives know a year before if they're moving off of you or not. He wasn't lame duck by accident. He was lame duck because that team with that window, and they were special, they didn't get it done. And at that point, you sit in a room and you say, I don't know if he's the guy. Okay, then we got to start looking elsewhere. It doesn't mean you're making the decision immediate, but over time, you get him out of there, you get the new guy in, and now we're seeing the results. This team is on the right track.
Professional sports. If you are a lame duck manager, coach, whatever it is, like the writing is on the wall.
Yes.
You need to either go out there and prove it, or obviously your time is about to be up.
And then they broke the veteran team up.
And they got off to a slow start last year, so he lasted 20 games.
And I blame that on the goaltender who sat out, missed time, missed camp. I don't put that on the coach. I don't. All I'm saying is this. I think
then that comes back to management and the negotiating window, and why couldn't the two
That's where I'm going with it.
That's your point.
All I'm saying is this. Jim Montgomery was good here. He was good in Dallas. He had his issues there.
And he's had some good success in St. Louis.
Not this year. Not now. He was good with younger players.
Yes.
He was good with younger players, and now he didn't have an opportunity, this opportunity here. So, yeah, St. Louis stinks. The Bruins should win tonight.
Right, but I don't understand ultimately what we're debating.
He's saying they could rebuild with Jim Montgomery.
Yeah,
that's what he's saying.
But would you rather have him right now than Marco Sturm?
No, I wouldn't. I like Sturm. I like Sturm.
I don't know.
If your answer is yes, then by all means keep going.
I would
but
not.
If your answer is no, then what are we even talking about?
And that's my point. I think the Bruins saw the writing on the wall and said, we had this group together. We had lightning in a bottle. They did. And they didn't get it done. It happens. It's hockey. So at that point, I think they had a decision to make. Do we stick, kind of what you're saying, do we stick with this guy and sort of retool, or do we go a different direction and get someone who can relate to the young guys?
I think what you're drilling down on, and it's fair, it's not a Montgomery problem that team had so much success a couple of years ago in the regular season, flamed out, got old, because Sweeney, Neely, the organization in general, hung on so tightly to that
core.
2011 core that won you a
Yes.
championship and went back to the Cup a couple of times after that and couldn't get over the hump for another title. And they were just like, need another one for Brad, need another one for Patrice. Can we, and guys just started to age out. And ultimately, obviously, last year they do right by Marchand, trade him away. He goes, he wins another Cup, his second there with Florida, and you had to sort of fully embrace the rebuild. Which, by the way, as we sit here, I mean, how low were people on the Bruins going into the season? We talked about
People
it.
thought they'd be the
Vegas
worst
had
team.
them as, not the worst, but one of the worst in the NHL. And right now, they are in the vicinity of being a playoff
That's
team.
right.
They've been in and out of basically that, first, second wild card spot, third in the Atlantic kind of thing. Like, they have been positioned to, they can absolutely, if healthy, make a run. It's the if healthy part.
You have to give Marco more time. I think he will. I think he will grow on you. I think this team's going to make the playoffs. It's going to be by the hair of their chinny chin chin.
Well,
I think they'll be a wild card.
praising Montgomery left and right. Well, tell me why the Blues suck right now.
Well, good point.
Well, they're the Blues. But let me just say this. Swayman got his money. They did Marchand right, and they did Monty wrong. That's my take, Kaufman, and I'm standing by it. But tonight, the Bruins need a win.
Yeah.
And I think St. Louis
think
is
so.
the team
If you
to get
want to
it.
grab dinner with Monty next time he's in Westchester, just say so. I don't know what we're even talking about here.
I think he got a raw deal.
Well, listen, I agree with you on this. I think coming off a tough loss against the Red Wings, it's just what the doctor ordered for the Blues, because they're going to win this one tonight. Yeah. No question about it.
We see Pasternak, by the way. What's going on? Any update on that?
It's hockey, bro. Of course not. They're not going to tell us anything.
We just need some more consistency, obviously. I mean, this team has been streaky as all get out throughout the year, but over the last little bit, you're talking about alternating wins and losses over the last 7 games.
That's right.
Let's take the over tonight.
I'm with you.
Let's take the over tonight.
with it.
And the
Give me
Bruins.
goals.
We'll
I'm with it.
parlay it up, and we'll kiss Monty.
Is that a Boston
Goodbye.
Sports parlay for tomorrow for you, Trav?
No, we're not doing those anymore. Get the latest up-to-date live Boston sports headlines along with your daily dose of trending sports and social topics every weekday on Boston's Air to the Chat. Catch us live 8 a.m. on NESN and 9 a.m. on NESN Nation. It's every Monday through Friday. Catch us right now on NESN Nation.